What is up, enthusiasts? It is Cedar Flags here, and welcome back to another one of my videos. So today, even though I am a few days late on the story, I really wanted to cover it on this channel. So the big news, Cedar Point's newest roller coaster Wild Mouse, a Zamperla Twister Freeform, has completed its track work. From the lift hill all the way to the final brake run, all of the track has been placed down. And today, I wanted to talk about it in this video. I'm going to be talking about my personal thoughts on it, how I think it looks, and I'm even going to get into some predictions later in the video and talk about what could happen to this ride model in the near future. This is Cedar Flags, and today we will be talking about the now completed Cedar Point Wild Mouse. So, a couple days ago, Cedar Point announced that they have finally completed the track work for their new Wild Mouse roller coaster. And this is going to be a part of the new boardwalk expansion, which includes some relocated flat rides, the new pavilion building, and of course, Wild Mouse. And let me just say right off the bat, the first thing that I noticed was they got this coaster done pretty quick. And I think that is simply just because they wanted to get this ride done before the first snowfall of the year, at least the first major snowfall, and here in northern Ohio, it can get pretty messy in the winter. So it would be better off just to finish this ride beforehand and face less problems in the end. Now, my personal prediction for the future is that they are going to wait out a little bit when it comes to the major snowfall, but I think they are going to slow down a little bit of their construction work in the next few months. And I feel like by spring, they will have their flat rides relocated there, they will have the rides testing, and they will be ready to open in time. Now, let me just say, looking at the ride itself, there is so much I could say about it. First of all, the color scheme looks absolutely marvelous. I was not a fan of this color scheme initially, but learning more about the ride's theme and more about the ride's backstory, I think it fits it very well. We haven't seen a color scheme like this at Cedar Point, the orange and the yellow, so I think this fits very well when it comes to contrasting with the rest of the park. I absolutely love when there is so much track and a very compact ride space, and I think that works very well with this plot of land. You could see so much track, so many twists and turns, so many drops and valleys in this tiny little plot of land. I think something this ride does very well is combine that old 1960s retro look with a modern Zamperla thrill look. It reminds me a lot of the look that Luna Park in New York City has, owned by Zamperla, a modern company with modern rides, but paying homage to the older generations of rides. The ride looks great in the plot of land, and it looks like it's been there forever. And by that I mean, I feel like naturally it fits very well with the rest of the park's skyline. The track looks very vibrant, the transitions look incredible, the placement is perfect, and that cat at the top of the lift hill is absolutely adorable. Now, I do have one tiny little complaint, and this is more of just a nitpick than anything else, but I'm not really a fan of the angle that the lift hill is on. Now, you can see from this picture that it is facing right across from Windseeker. I think this ride would have definitely been a little better if that obstructed view of Windseeker wasn't there, but nonetheless, you could look a little bit to your right, and you could see all of Lake Erie. I just wish that a panoramic view was there, so it would have been easier to view the lake. Anyways, for my final part of the video, I want to talk about some predictions I have for both this roller coaster itself and the ride model in question. Finally, to end off this video, I want to talk about a few predictions that I have for the ride model as a whole. Now first, I want to center on Wild Mouse. This is going to be at Cedar Point, and honestly, I want to say that I think this ride is going to have extremely long lines. This is a minor prediction I have, but let me explain. A lot of people have been talking about the ride's capacity, but no one has been talking about how popular this ride is going to be. First of all, it is a spinning coaster, the first at Cedar Point. And second of all, let's just say that this is the only modern family coaster that is at this park. This ride is going to be such a big hit, so I just hope that Cedar Point will have a great capacity job with this ride, and it will have an upgraded capacity mark compared to some other Wild Mice out there. Finally, I want to make the prediction that this ride model will be coming to other parks in the United States. I think it's inevitable at this point. A lot of manufacturers and companies have great relationships with Zamperla. Now, Cedar Fair is obvious, they have an incredible relationship with Zamperla, but where would the next Zamperla Twister Freeform go? I think there are great contenders out there, one of them being Kings Island. They definitely need a new thrilling coaster, but I feel like this would definitely be a great addition. They haven't added a minor coaster in a while, and I think that this would be a great fit for all ages. Put it in the family section of the park, and you would have a very good hit on your hands. The next one would be Carowinds. Now, even though they already have a wild mouse, I still think that this ride would be different enough to differentiate the two. Ricochet is a mock wild mouse that has standard trains and a very centric layout, and this ride would be a lot more diverse. It would be the first spinning coaster at Carowinds, and I feel like this would attract so many people, like I said, of all ages. Finally, I want to talk about Palace Entertainment. So why do I mention Palace? Well, even though they have a few spinning coasters in their lineup, including at parks like Adventureland and Kennywood, I think some other parks like Lake Compounce and Storyland would very heavily benefit off of a ride like this. Those two parks are very family centric, and even though they have a pair of great wooden coasters, I think that this would be a great supporting ride for both of those parks. In fact, I think the one at Storyland would probably be one of the biggest, most menacing rides there, as that is one of the most family centric parks that I have ever been to in my entire life. But anyways, are there any other parks that you could see this ride model coming to? Let me know what you thought about this video in the comments below. Like and subscribe, we are almost at 14,000, and of course let me know about Wild Mouse, how it looks, and if you think it's going to be a great fit for Cedar Point. Anyways, until next time, this is Cedar Flags, and I'll see you all later.
Cheese.